A video allegedly taken at a U.S. military base in Iraq in 2018, just released by a journalist named Jeremy Corbell, who claims that it was buried by the intelligence community. Look at this. He calls this thing, whatever craft it is, jellyfish. You can see why, because it floats with like dangling appendages. The footage was shot at night, and I'm quoting that they used thermographic forward-looking infrared imagery. But interestingly, the object could not be seen with regular night vision gear. And some of the troops who were at the base weren't even aware it was up there. Others were told to hunt it down. And the coolest part of it all is that it switches colors. It goes from this dark to like almost invisible and see-through and white as it glides, indicating that that should be a temperature change more than likely, from hot to cold to hot to cold. And then it just disappears into a body of water for 17 straight minutes until it reemerges and shoots off into the sky at a rate of speed that was so high it couldn't be documented with the technology we actually have here on Earth.
Hello everyone, if you're joining me for the first time, then welcome. If you're a repeat customer, then thank you very much for returning. I'm going to delve into this a bit deeper in a minute, but this is going to be a special video just on the Jellyfish UFO. What you've just seen is a clip I've pulled off of a news channel, but I'm going to show you the full-length video that Jeremy Corbell released. So let's take a look at this. Before I go into the explanation of exactly what I think it is, and I am pretty convinced, I'm going to first play you a little clip of Nick Pope explaining a couple of things about this video. So let's see what he's got to say.
Nick Pope spent his career investigating UFOs for the UK Ministry of Defence, and he's just great at this stuff. So, first of all, Nick, what do you make of this whole temperature, color change, and then also this transmedium capabilities of going in and out of the water and the air?
Well, the change in color, which normally could represent a temperature change, may be an artifact of the camera and the system. We don't know yet what this is. There are so many pieces of the puzzle that have yet to be confirmed. This is very early days. So I don't want to say about the temperature change. And again, with the transmedium travel, so far, the only bit of this video that I've seen is the bit that you're showing now. I have yet to see the part where it apparently goes into the water and comes out. But if that is what people are saying it is, that is certainly something to watch. And it's one of these so-called 5 observables, this apparent ability to move seamlessly between water and air that we hear about. And that is noteworthy for sure, if it's verified.
Right, let's begin to break this down then. First of all, Nick Pope's absolutely right, because you can't go on the other part of the video because Jeremy Corbell has only made this part available. So for the purpose of this analysis, you have to get out of your head that the UFO went into the sea for 17 minutes and then shot off at a high rate of speed. We haven't got that evidence. That video is not available, so we can only deal with this. I find it highly suspicious that Corbell has got the nail in the coffin section to the video, but won't show it to us. I wonder why that could be. Could it be because this shows that this isn't actually a UAP? Or could it be because he's going to put it in his new documentary and we're all going to have to pay to see the rest of the video? I wonder. I mean, the guy's only made about $7 million from all of these documentaries, so who knows? The second thing Nick Pope is correct about is the infrared and the fact that it was probably glitching. I would personally say that it was definitely glitching due to the size of this object being very small and its density, which I'll go into in a minute. So what you're seeing now is me going backwards and forwards on one section of the video. Now if you look in the background, you'll see other artefacts like rocks slowly going from light to dark. Now these can't possibly be changing temperature so rapidly at the same time as this UAP, can they? What I think this shows is that the infrared is on a moving platform. As the vehicle it's on is moving round, it's calibrating itself, and we're finding a temperature distortion, or a temperature change. I think it's quite clear in this section of video that that's exactly what's going on. As a result, we can quite clearly come to the conclusion that the UAP is remaining the same temperature all the time. Let's see what else we can find. I'm just going to quickly show you this part and another part, and here you can see people in the background. This gives us an idea of the size of the object that we're dealing with. The people are far away. The object is near to the camera. The people are bigger. The object is smaller.
Okay, one last time. These are small, but the ones out there are far away. Small, far away. Forget it.
Another thing I think I've spotted is something going on with the rocks, and as it passes over the rocks, which are giving off heat, I think you can see the heat of the rocks through this object, which means this object is translucent, less dense, has spaces in it. But let's move on. In this clip, I'm sure I can see some movement of the dangly little legs that are underneath. Going backwards and forwards through the frames as best as I can, you can definitely see that it's not stable. The wind is causing it to distort, it's causing movement. Based on that, we can assume that this thing is almost light and fluffy. I wonder what it could be. One final observation before we get on to the big reveal. I've done 2 freeze frames, and on this first one you can clearly see through the object. It's not really clear unless you watch the video, but I've outlined the object and you can see where it is, and you can definitely see that you can see through it. And again, on this second still image, you can clearly see the corner of the building through this UAP. So finally, onto the full explanation of what it is. Enjoy.
During the inversion and fog, we expect the air to be full of stuff, but full of foam? That's a first.
We all thought we were on drugs. We're like, we have never seen anything like this.
It tripped Buffy and her coworkers out. Huge chunks of fluff falling from the sky around the refinery.
These look like airplanes or UFOs. They're giant bubbles.
There we have it. Let me know what you think in the comments. And before you shoot me down, ask yourself this question. Why didn't they shoot it down? There is no way in a million years the US Army on a base in Iraq wouldn't have engaged something before it entered their airspace. If it was a threat, there would have been alarm sounding, and those people you can see in the videos, as well as the dogs, would have been running like mad. So as you can tell, I'm calling bullshit on this one. Jeremy Corbell is just cashing in on some free advertising before his documentary comes out. Now, I have tried to find out the exact location of this military base, but I can't find any details, which means I can't find out if there's a refinery nearby or anything like that. Either way, you can be rest assured this is just a bunch of bubbles. Now, if you like what you've seen, I have got many more videos up, so you could subscribe, hit the like button, post a message in the chat, and I'll get back to you. That being said, I'm going to have a shit in the field, savage some hens, and try not to get my face blown off. I'll see you in a bit, guys.